Okay, what's up, tycoons? What's up, traders? Going to give you guys an update on JASMY real quick, ticker symbol JASMY. We are looking at this on the daily chart, which is one of the best time frames to really start out with, especially if you're a beginner and trying to understand some of the recent price action. Okay, so we're going to look at the MACD. We're also going to look at the RSI and go over our major Fibonacci retracement levels so that way you guys understand how to use all of these different indicators. Trading is like going to battle. It's like going to war. You need to have the proper weapons at your disposal, and you need to know how to use those weapons to increase your odds of success on the battlefield. So we were looking for a, kind of like a three-wave move to the upside here. We did come into our overhead supply zone, which was our target, but we didn't hit the completion all the way up here to about 0.6, what is it, 0.6444, okay, is really the level that we wanted to come up to in a perfect world scenario. But we did get a nice push up. We came down and we held our three major retracement levels of support. And then we pushed up higher into this overhead supply zone, and we tapped it twice here ultimately before pulling back. Now, there's a couple things we need to be cautious of, but we're going to go over, why you need to be cautious of these signals on the RSI and the MACD. Okay, and really teach you guys how to use these major Fibonacci retracement levels. The three main levels that are the most common and the most respected are the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8. You use these to spot trend continuation, right? Well, now that would be an upside trend continuation, or you use it to spot downside trend continuation. You can also use this to spot reversal. So when you come down, you retrace, and then you consolidate a little bit and break through those retracement levels. That's how you can spot a reversal to the upside, and same thing to the downside. If you retrace, consolidate a little bit, and then break through your retracement levels, you can spot a potential reversal to the downside. A great example of this is most recently we had our swing high connected down to our swing low. We came down, we retraced, we consolidated a little bit, and we got the reversal that we were looking for. So that started a bullish move to the upside, and we said, hey, if we pull back, we now need to hold our major retracement levels of support, right? Because before we were in a downtrend, retracing, and possibly going to continue that downtrend. Now we're looking to see if we come up, if we retrace, can we continue the uptrend? We did make a higher high, right? So we have a high here. We got the reversal past our breakout levels. We made a high and we made a new higher high. What we need to do is we now need to adjust this a little bit and take it from our swing low down here and put it up here to our most recent swing high. So this is going to give us the three major levels of support that we need to hold for JASMY to continue to go higher. Otherwise, if we break these levels, we could head to the downside. Now, those levels are going to be 0.00466, 0.00429, and then 0.00392. Those are going to be the three areas of support where if we don't hold these and we end up, starting to close and trade below these on the daily, we could end up getting a reversal back to the downside. Now, what are some of the warning signs that we're looking at suggesting that we could be getting a possible pullback? Well, let's take a look right here and notice how we have a high, okay? And then we come up here and we make a higher high. So clearly, the token is in an uptrend in this short-term period and it's making higher highs. If you look at your RSI, this is measuring the relative strength of a token at its given price. So we made a high here, then we made a higher high on the token price, and we actually made a lower high on the RSI. So we're losing relative strength as the price of this token is going up. That's something known as bearish divergence. It's an indicator you could see some bearish activity in the future. Now over here, we're starting to get a MACD crossover, which could potentially be an exit signal. When the blue line crosses below the orange line, there is a potential that this could be an exit signal. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out a little bit and we're going to go to the past and show you guys how multiple divergences have played out. And then how the MACD entry and exit signals have played out. And when you combine them together, you really increase your odds of success on the battlefield. Okay, I like to say trading is like going to battle, it's like going to war. And these are some of the weapons that we're going to be using. Okay, so we've zoomed back out, looked into the past a little bit, and pay attention to these circles right here, and also your RSI, your relative strength index. Okay, so notice how we have a low here, a lower low here, and then a lower low here. But on our RSI, we're building relative strength as the price of the token is going lower. We have a low, we have a higher low, and then we have a higher low again right here. So each time that we made a higher low on the relative strength index while making a lower low on the price of the token, we got a small bounce afterwards. Okay. So, here's your first example, right? We make the higher low, we get a nice little bounce up to our retracement level and then pull back. And once we do pull back and create a lower low, we actually still continue this uptrend, and we now have a trend line here that we're holding on our relative strength index. Now, when you combine this with the MACD, if we do this and come up just a little bit more on the MACD, you can see the different signals that we're talking about. So remember, the entry signal is going to be the blue line crossing above, and an exit signal is going to be the blue line crossing below. So what you see here is you make a low, you make a higher low right here, and then we got the MACD crossover to the upside, indicator we could have some bullish activity on two different signals, right? The two different signals, RSI and then MACD. You know, having two or more, preferably two or three things aligned together that can give you possible entries and exits is going to help give you some more confidence in your trade, right? Now, the video is not financial advice. I'm not, you know, telling you guys to buy this and it's going to go to the moon or to short it, anything like that, but really just trying to provide some information and clarity on some of the different strategies and how you can combine them together, right? So over here, if you take a look, right, we made that lower low again, and we made the higher low, and then very shortly afterwards, we got the MACD crossover back to the upside. And what do? We move up and we come to our major retracement level of resistance, right? So where you have this down move, we retrace and then continue that downtrend. So when you come up to these levels, especially if these are levels of resistance, this is an area where you want to protect the trade, right? You have some type of risk management, maybe sell your position, maybe put a stop loss on. But you typically don't want to be going long at your major resistance retracement levels because there's a high likelihood you're going to, continue that downwards trend. Rather, you would look for a breakout and then a retest, right? Which is what we ended up getting over here. You see, we broke out, we come back down, we retested our 50% retracement level right here, and then we continued up higher. Right. And that's kind of what you're going to be looking for. Now, when it comes to the bullish divergence, notice again, we have this trend line here. As soon as we break this trend line, that's an indicator you could see some downside activity. So what happens right here exactly, we break the trend line, and if you take a look up at your MACD, what do? You get a bearish crossover, and the blue line crosses below the orange line here, and we end up getting a move to the downside shortly afterwards. Now, right after this, what did we end up doing after we got that exit signal and we had that move to the downside? We built more bullish divergence, right? So take a look how we have a low here and a lower low here now, right? So we have a much longer time period of, creating lower lows now, but we have a much longer time period of bullish divergence as well from this original low right here. We have the low, and now over here, we have a new higher low on our relative strength index, and very shortly afterwards we get a MACD entry signal where the blue line crosses above, and it really started this whole rally right here. So to wrap things up in summary, what we're looking at currently and what we need to be cautious of is that we have bearish divergence now, and we have a high, a lower high, a lower high, while the price of this token has actually gone up and increased. Not only that, we have the blue line just starting to cross below the orange line here. So it is a good time to exercise some caution. Now, it doesn't mean we have to fully reverse, but it just indicates we could see some bearish activity, right? If we break through our major retracement levels of support now, because we're connecting the new low up here to the new high, we've had a strong move up. If we get a pullback, this could just be a healthy pullback to continue going higher, or we're going to break through these levels and try to reverse. So pay close attention to your major support levels here. Watch out for this overhead supply zone. We've already rejected it a few times here, a few times over here, and over here as well. It's been an area of selling off where there's an imbalance of sell orders really pushing the price down. We want to see us push up into this if you're bullish, really consolidate up here, absorb those sell orders, and ultimately lead to an imbalance of buy orders and push the price up higher. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I do viewer requests every single week too. So if you want to see your token in the next video, all you got to do is comment down below. I'll make a video on it as soon as I can. And I appreciate you making it this far. Okay. If you did make it this far, you're probably going to enjoy one of these next two videos as well. So click on one of those.